and then we're going to explain. That's a very. Well, I just did a funny, but yeah, we're going to we're going to explain Tay's joke now. Settle down, everybody. Settle down. Settle down. Tianos has a joke that he'd like explained to us all. So let's get to that. What are we on? 9:13. Okay, we've got time for this, I think. So the joke is as follows: I was worried that I was going to get fired from my job at the crab farm, but instead they just moved me sideways. That joke again. I was worried that I was going to get fired from my job at the crab farm, but instead they just moved me sideways. Now, businesses have a structure. Let's start here. We're going to work through the joke backwards. Okay, we're going to go with. Thought I'd mix up a little. Some of the naturals. Millstone Bar. Correct. Well, is it correct? Yeah. So you get maybe like the CEO there. Yes. And then you get maybe a couple of senior managers. And then the senior managers, let's give them a team each. That's T1A, TA, 2A. We don't really need the T, do we? 2B, beautifully done. Well done, me. Right. 1A, 1B. So this is basically seniority. Yeah. So you can think of that as upwards or downwards movement, yes? If we started in Team 2B, we were promoted upwards to senior management and then upwards to CEO, like that ever happens. You'll be glad to know that our new CEO is one of the senior managers. No, it never happens, does it? Well, rarely happens. This, therefore, would be sideways movement, you see? So if somebody was working here, in Team 2B, they might get relocated to Team 1B, and there's all sorts of reasons, you know. Although these teams have the same level of seniority, they might have slightly different functions, yes? They might cover different areas. These could be four sales teams covering different regions of the country, you see. It's going to be like north, south, east, west. That'd be a weird way of doing it for various reasons, but it's possible. Could someone move frontwards or backwards in the Z direction? No, just for the sake of brevity and curtains. There's no Z. There's no Z in this particular structure. It's very difficult to come up with a Z direction for the structure if you can unfold it into two dimensions anyway. It makes the Z redundant. But, where was I? Yes, so, another reason it might... Oh, no, that's fine. I just heard my ship go off. It's fine. Another reason to be moved sideways is if, basically, as a disciplinary measure, if you've tainted your team with your presence and you need a fresh start, you might get shunted. You might get shunted to a different team. So keep that in your mind. Now, humanity started off, I think we can all agree, as hunter-gatherers. So we'd go out hunting for animals, and we'd go out gathering nuts and berries and the like, fruit. And we got by doing that. But then one day, some bright spark said, "You know what? If we could control all chance make this, it's gone, Mill. It's gone. What if our floating point number of managers? It would get very messy. There'd be blood on the blood. Oh God, blood on the boardroom carpet. What's that phrase? It's just blood on the carpet, isn't it? Okay. Some bright chap I think it was called Farm. I think it was called Mr. Farm. He had this idea that if you actually could sort of control the environment in which you gathered your nuts and berries or went hunting, if you could control that environment, it would make it easier. Yeah, in fact, there probably wasn't an exact moment where this happened. It was probably more just, we drifted into this. So, on the animal front, we have what we call husbandry, animal husbandry, which is the breeding of livestock, yes, and for plants, we have, I think I'm right in saying this is certainly etymologically correct, agriculture, you see. We could actually grow the nuts and the berries rather than go foraging them. They'd be exactly where we knew they were. And husbandry, we wouldn't have to go off and hunt wild animals if we were breeding animals for slaughter. I'm slightly in love with Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Thank you, Millstone. I was at a party with her mum the other night. Well, I wasn't with her mum. I was at a party and her mum was there as well. Janet. And Ellis. And yes. So in this joke, we have both of these, by the way. Oh, he's learning. Both of these relate to farms and farming, yes? So if we were raising livestock, it would be on a farm. If we were growing wheat and going to a farm to grow wheat, then that would be, that would still be a farm, yes. So, in this joke, we have a crab farm. Now, a crab is a very interesting crabs, actually. Crabs are an evolutionary form that just keeps popping up. Evolution is sort of hardwired, almost, to create crabs. It's got a name. I can't remember it, but it's worth looking into. But that goes beyond the scope of this joke explanation. We don't want to get too bogged down in the details here. But a crab is a aquatic beast. It lives in the sea, generally, and it's got this sort of hard exoskeleton, but inside it's made of food, which is evolutionary a disaster, I think. Very strange that evolution should keep making the same mistake over and over again. But there we have it. The insides of a crab are made of food. And, again, you could, theoretically, go out and catch crabs. Couldn't you? Could, if you were, you could go out in a boat with your pots, catch crabs and lobsters and take them back and sell them to restaurant. Or just boil them up in a big pot. You could do that. Made of food, I know, right? Some birds are made of food as well, to be honest. I don't want to put the frighteners on you. But it's true. Or you could, as to take our example from Mr. Farm, we could breed crabs ourselves at home in a controlled environment. So in this particular joke, we have somebody who is working at a crab farm. That is a place that is breeding crabs for food. He's done something terribly wrong. So bad, in fact, that he's worried he's going to get fired. I've realised I've missed an important thing here about the crab. Let me just draw it back in. I'll do it quicker this time. Much. Because you already know what it looks like because I've already drawn it. So there's no point in taking... There's no point in taking too long over the drawing because I've already drawn it. So this is just indicative. We can imagine that this is as good as my previous... My previous drawing. So, to cut a long story short, crabs move sideways. They don't move forward. If you look at the body, you can kind of see that it's really designed for a sideways movement. You've got all the legs over here and all the legs over there. These are just for battling, and mating dominance. If a crab's going to walk anywhere, it's going to walk sideways if it can. That's very important for this joke. It's very important for this joke. So is the crab getting promoted? Crab is not getting promoted, no. Very sadly, the crab is not getting promoted. But yeah, remember our diagram. So this chap, he's done something terribly wrong at work, at the crab farm. He's worried he's going to get fired. You're going to enjoy this. When you see what I've done here, you're going to enjoy it. Yeah, so he thought he was going to get fired, this chap. But instead, he was moved to a different team. Yeah? You see what's happening here? You can see it now, can't you? Yeah? He was moved sideways. Moved sideways. So that phrase, moving sideways, is fulfilling two different meanings here. It's simultaneously referring to the movement of a crab, but also it's talking about the disciplinary reaction that has been carried out here of the chap being moved sideways in the company. And as we've discussed, so by the way, the crab moves, it can't be promoted. Is that discrimination? That's not the reason why it can't be promoted. It can't be promoted because it doesn't know how to operate the photocopier. So yes, they both. If a word has the same has two meanings, then it elicits, and they're both being used at the same time, or at least being alluded to at the same time. Then it makes it funny. Say, have I explained your joke to your satisfaction? How does one become king crab? By killing all the other crabs. I think we've learned that crab society has an entirely flat structure. This is inadequate. Adequacy is our middle letter. So I'm going to say this joke is fully explained. And we can get back with whatever the hell we were doing before. I can't quite remember.